Very nicely said, why don't you take a year and don't do any cars? That's a good idea. And in that time, I met the folks from Hennessy. They invited me in on this project. They had been thinking about this for a long time. And to be quite fair, I really didn't. I mean, there's people in this audience, probably you've grown up with cognac your whole lives. I must say, I hadn't discovered it. I really did. I didn't know it until I got involved with the House of Hennessy, and then I found out, wow, this is like really something special. The people are really passionate. The way they make the product is amazing. How many things in our lives haven't changed for 200 years? I mean, you gotta think about that. You got these guys, 8 people, they spend all day long trying to make sure it's perfectly the same. So the challenge to represent that in a new exterior in a bottle and give it all that passion and this dynamic that represents you guys. That was a pretty cool challenge.
So what's the protocol for innovating something with so much dedication to staying the same?
Well, you kind of got to get into the skin, figure out what it's like to be a bottle, which sounds kind of silly, but it's actually the truth. This is how you do it for the car business. This is where it came from. It's a 1954 version, which is like 2 years before I was born.
Very rare too, by the way. There's only a very, very small number of those bottles around.
I think it can be.
Well, there's only one of you.
And the other one here is 1989 version, which is 2 years after my son was born. And it's how many times they've been touched. And to figure out where I wanted to go, you kind of have to get into extremes and say, okay, here's the model, what do you want to do? And that sounds a bit weird, but that's exactly what you do it. And then on the other hand, it's not just that, it's not just a big brand, it's also how do you make a bottle? You think about that? I mean, every perfume bottle you buy, all that stuff that come out of the machine and all that, kind of tricky. And in this particular case, the bottle people are pretty passionate too.
So did you spend a bit of time in cognac and taking a look at the whole process?
Yeah. It starts with drinking the cognac. It ends with drinking the cognac.
Well, I'm
and
sure.
I advise you to also have your experience that way too.
Well, everybody here is way ahead of you on that count. Okay, now let me just tell you. Obviously, 20 years, 30 years in the car design industry. How does this compare? It must be a little different to designing cars.
No.
Oh, come on. Come on. It can't be the same.
Exactly the same as designing a car.
Exactly the same.
A little bit smaller.
Okay.
The whole trick is, it is an iconic, passionate representation of something authentic. And you're supposed to, it hasn't been touched for decades, right? Everybody knows it, right? And now somebody asks you to give it a kind of a fresh look. That kind of sounds like little me, right?
A little bit, that's right.
Yeah, we've done these projects before. And so to come at it the same way we did a car, let's give it that feeling of identity. You know, when you sit in a car, that's you. That's you. And you have to feel that identity. Same thing here. You want that cognac to feel inside there that this bottle is me.
Okay. Well, now I know you made a lot of very interesting and subtle changes. Now, for a